Hello student friends. In the last lecture we have studied a lemma which states that if phi is a homomorphism of G onto G bar, then there is a 1-1 onto correspondence between the subgroups of G onto subgroups of G bar, and that also corresponds to normal subgroup of G onto normal subgroups of G bar. Now we shall consider the next theorem on homomorphism, which is theorem 5, and the statement is, let phi be a homomorphism of G onto G bar with kernel K, and let n bar be a normal subgroup of G bar. N is defined as those elements of G whose phi image is in n bar. Then the theorem states that G by n is isomorphic to G bar by n bar, quotient groups. This quotient group is isomorphic to the quotient group on right side, and this is equivalent to another isomorphic relation, that is G by n is isomorphic with G by k on n by k, G by k by n by k. So this we shall now prove. It is given that phi is a homomorphism of G onto G bar. So phi G to G bar be onto homomorphism, or is onto homomorphism, that is given in the theorem, is an onto homomorphism. With kernel K, that is given in the theorem, or this is the hypothesis. Now we define, let another mapping we shall define. Let theta be the mapping defined from the group G bar to the quotient group G bar by n bar, be defined by theta of element of G bar we denote by G bar, small g bar. Theta of G bar, and element of this quotient group, as we know, it is right coset of n bar in G bar, and that we shall denote by n bar G bar. So if you define a mapping like this, theta of G bar is equal to n bar G bar, means a right coset of n bar in G bar, then this is onto homomorphism, and this is proved in lemma number 13. Then theta is an onto homomorphism. See, this follows, we have proved this separately in lemma 13. This result is proved. Now we again consider another mapping, psi. Let psi be a mapping from G bar, or we shall consider it from G to G bar by n bar, from the group G to quotient group G bar by n bar, be a mapping defined by psi of G is equal to, and any element in this we shall write now as n bar phi of G. Instead of G bar, phi of G we will write, and what is phi of G? Phi of G by this is an element in G bar. So therefore this is an element in G bar, which is a right coset of n bar in G bar. So thus we have defined psi in terms of phi of G. Actually phi of G will be an element in G bar, because phi is from G to G bar. And this is the mapping we have defined. Now we shall show that this is onto homomorphism, that we shall show. First is psi is onto. And here we will consider first G belongs to G. Let G, or we will consider G bar belongs to G bar. Here, let G bar belongs to G bar, then there exists then there is G belongs to G such that phi of G is equal to G bar. Why this is so? Because you see phi is onto homomorphism. For every element G bar in G bar, there exists G in G, such that phi image of that G is equal to G bar. Since the reason is phi is onto. And now we will consider, we actually want to show this psi is onto. That means we will consider the element in G bar by n bar. For every the element in G bar by n bar will be of this form. For every n bar G bar, right coset of n bar by G bar. These are quotient groups, and we know the elements of quotient groups are right cosets. And for every element n bar G bar belongs to G bar by n bar, there exists. Now we will consider this G. There is G belongs to G such that phi of G is equal to G bar. First, under this homomorphism phi, there is G belongs to G such that phi of G is equal to G bar. And now for this G, psi of G is equal to, now psi of G will be, by definition of psi, it is n bar of phi G, and this is equal to n bar of phi of G is G bar. So thus this shows that the inverse image of n bar G bar is G, and thus such that psi of G is equal to n bar G bar, and this shows that psi is onto. This is the meaning of onto. Every element in this codomain has inverse image in domain, and this is what we have considered. So this n bar G bar belongs to this codomain. There is G belongs to G with first phi is homomorphism onto homomorphism, and therefore phi of G is equal to G bar, and for this G, psi image is exactly n bar G bar, and this shows that psi is onto. Now psi is homomorphism. So we shall prove the multiplicative property for homomorphism. Let two elements we shall consider, A and B in G, and now we shall consider psi of AB. Psi of AB is equal to, we have to use the definition of the mapping. Psi of G is n bar of phi of G, and therefore psi of AB will be n bar phi of AB by definition of psi. And what is this n bar? N bar is normal subgroup of G bar, it is given. And in normal subgroup, the product of two right coset is a right coset, or NAB is equal to NA into NB. And but before that, this phi of AB we can write as n bar phi A into phi B. Why? Because phi is homomorphism, and the reason is since phi is homomorphism. And further, this is n phi A, n phi B, and n bar is normal. So therefore, product of two right coset is a right coset. So this we can write n bar phi A into n bar phi B. And by definition, you see of psi of G. So what is the first? N bar phi of G is psi of G. So n bar phi of A is psi of A. So this is equal to psi of A, and the second is equal to psi of B, and thus psi of AB is equal to psi of A into psi of B, and this shows that psi is homomorphism, or therefore psi of AB is equal to psi of A into psi of B, and therefore psi is a homomorphism, and thus we have proved psi is onto homomorphism. Now what further we shall obtain is the kernel of psi. So to find the kernel of psi, is the next thing that we shall do, and let T be kernel of psi. Actually we want to prove that kernel of psi is n, where n is defined here. N is inverse image of the elements in n bar. Let T be the kernel. T be the kernel of psi. And now to show T is equal to n, we will show that n is subset of T and T is subset of n. For that purpose, let n belongs to n. And then what this will imply, if n is in n, then phi of n belongs to n bar. By definition of n, phi image is in n bar. For every element in n has its image is in n bar. And now this phi of n belongs to n bar. We will consider now the psi image of T. Psi of T is equal to. Now what will be psi image of T? Because T, here we have as T is the kernel. T is the kernel, and therefore psi image of T will be identity element, or instead of psi image of T, we will consider psi image of n. Psi image of n is equal to. Now psi image of n will be n bar and phi of n. So by definition of this psi, this is n bar phi of n. And because this phi of n belongs to n bar, this element belongs to n bar, and therefore this must be equal to n bar. If the two elements are, this element is in the same group, subgroup, then it is equal. So or for example we have HH. HH is same as H, because H belongs to H by closure property, and likewise n bar phi of n is equal to n bar. But what is n bar? N bar is the identity element of this quotient group, G bar by n bar. This is equal to identity element, or identity element of G bar by n bar. And thus psi of n is the identity element of n bar, which is identity element of G bar by n bar. Then this shows that this n must be in the kernel, because every element in the kernel has the image equal to identity, and this implies n belongs to T, and thus we have n belongs to n, and that implies n belongs to T, and therefore n is, capital N is subset of T. N we have used this definition given in the theorem, and on the other hand we will prove T is also subset of N. That we shall consider on the other hand. Let T belongs to T. And if T belongs to T, then what we assume, T is the kernel of psi. Then therefore psi image of T, psi image of T must be identity of element of G bar by N bar, and that is equal to N bar. Identity of G bar by N bar, and thus we have psi of T is equal to N bar. But by definition, psi of T is equal to, see the definition of psi. Psi of T is equal to N bar of phi of T, by definition of psi. And thus we have psi of T is equal to N bar, psi of T is also equal to N bar of phi of T. Therefore these must be equal because their left sides are equal, and thus N bar phi of T must be equal to N bar. And again, what this will imply, that if these two are equal, then this phi of T must belong to N bar, as like this. If phi of N belongs to N bar, then this N bar phi of N is equal to N bar. So therefore this element must also be in N bar. So this implies phi of T belongs to N bar. And now see the definition of N. So if phi of X belongs to N bar, then this X belongs to N. So this implies this T must belong to N. Because phi image of elements in N is in N bar, by definition of N. And thus starting with T belongs to T, we have obtained T belongs to N, and therefore this T is subset of N. Therefore T is subset of N. Now you see both the parts. First we have shown N is subset of T, and now we have shown T is subset of N, and thus T is equal to N, and that is the kernel of psi. And now we shall combine all the results that we have proved. First we have proved psi is onto, next we have proved psi is homomorphism, and now we have proved the kernel of psi is N, and thus hence psi is onto homomorphism. Hence psi is a homomorphism. Homomorphism from, see this, G, and it is onto G bar by N bar with kernel. Kernel we have proved is N. So this is the result we wanted to establish. Psi is homomorphism from G onto G bar by N bar with kernel N. Now we apply the fundamental theorem of homomorphism of groups. So by the fundamental theorem of homomorphism of group, fundamental theorem of homomorphism, or a fundamental theorem of group homomorphism. This is our theorem 4, that is theorem 4. We have, now I shall write here. Now what is the fundamental theorem of homomorphism of group? If G is onto G bar homomorphism, then this G bar is isomorphic with G by its kernel, that is G by K. And what is the kernel of this psi? Psi is onto homomorphism from G to G bar by N bar, and kernel is N. So therefore this G bar by N bar is isomorphic with G by N. So we have G bar by N bar is isomorphic with G by N. So this is what we wanted to prove. G by N is isomorphic with G bar by N bar. And this follows from the fundamental theorem of homomorphism. So we have to divide or we have to take the quotient of this with kernel G by N, and that becomes isomorphic with G bar by N bar. And so it established the first part, hence the first part of the theorem. Now further we have again we see G by K is isomorphic with G bar because G onto G bar is homomorphism, and kernel of G is K. So G by K, that is the fundamental theorem of group homomorphism. G by K is isomorphic with G bar. Further we have G by K is isomorphic with G bar, and by the same theorem, and N by K is isomorphic with N bar, and therefore G bar by N bar will be isomorphic with G by K by N by K, and this gives, or this implies, we know that isomorphic groups is equivalent relation. So it is reflexive, symmetric, and also transitive. So G bar is isomorphic with G by K, and N bar is isomorphic with N by K. So therefore G by N is isomorphic with G by K by N by K. So this implies, or this gives, G by N, or first we shall write G bar by N bar is isomorphic. G bar by N bar is isomorphic with G by K by N by K, or and hence so this G bar by N bar is isomorphic with G by N. So by transitive relation, G by N is isomorphic. G by N is isomorphic with G by K by N by K by transitive relation. And this proves the theorem. So this completes the proof. Here we have considered two mappings, theta from G bar to G bar by N bar, quotient group, and psi actually we have considered from G to G bar by N bar, and we have proved that psi is onto homomorphism with kernel N, and by the fundamental theorem G by N is isomorphic with G bar by N bar. It is symmetric. So therefore this is the same result. And by the same theorem, fundamental theorem of group homomorphism, K is kernel. So G by K is isomorphic with G bar because there is a mapping phi between G to G bar. Similarly, the same mapping is by earlier lemma between N and N bar. So N by K is isomorphic with N bar. And taking quotient group, we can have this relation. G bar by N bar is isomorphic with G by K by N by K. And by transitive relation, G by N is isomorphic with G bar by N bar. G bar by N bar is isomorphic with this quotient group, and therefore G by N is isomorphic with this quotient group, and this proves the theorem. So this completes the proof. Remaining part we will continue next time. Thank you.